Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business, and we have a follow-up episode for Ships and Giggles. Basically, this is going to be featuring nothing but gameplay from the New Mexico, and I'm going to talk a bit about that and various other aspects of the game. My favorite part of this ship is that right there, 17,000 damage, non-citadel salvos. You get those all the time with this, and there's a story behind this ship for me, and basically it goes back to the Colorado, and when the Colorado was bad, I played the ship a lot, and then in late September last year they had the update which improved that. They apparently, if I remember correctly, that's when they added 5 seconds to the reload for the New Mexico, and they also reduced its dispersion in a negative manner, so it became less accurate and less consistent. At that point, only about a couple weeks later, I think I actually remember the date, which is really weird, but there must have been something else that happened that day, but I think it was like October 13th. I can't believe I'm even saying that. That I sold the ship, and I only just recently, about three and a half weeks ago, I bought it back. What you're going to see here, by the way, I'm opening up to this New York because I have to. There's the smoke there to my left, and this is why destroyers and battleships work very well together, again, because the threat of torpedoes is enough to make me have to turn out and expose my side for a hit like that. So just something to bear in mind, and also why, if you're in the division, you really want to try to work with the guy that's like if you're a destroyer, you want to work with the battleship because you're both looking for the same thing. You're trying to get the broadside of people. Cruisers, they don't have to worry about that as much because you're focusing on being able to just set the fires and keep distance. But it turns out that Euxers from the stream was in here, and he's in his Farragut, and that's why I was trying to keep some distance there from that smoke, because the Farragut may not have incredibly powerful torpedoes, but the fact that it's Euxers, I can't die to this guy, so I had to tell him to get off my lawn with 6 hits there of AP to damn near take him out, and he does get taken out right there. But basically what happened with what happened with the New Mexico, it became really difficult for me to play. I didn't really adapt to it, so I came back months later, and turns out, like, I still love the hell out of the ship, and it's just, there's so much power behind the salvos. You have to consider the fact that it's tier 6, and the ships that it's shooting have minimal armor. Like, it's not that advanced. They, like the Kirov here, which you're going to see me shoot at him a lot. I have a real problem trying to lead Kirovs in the battleship. I just can't seem to do it, and I don't know what the hell this Murmansk is thinking, just sitting there like that, but yeah, he's going to get a couple hits here. But, the ship really just has a quality to it in terms of the salvos that seems missing from a lot of other ships, and it has the penetration to get the penetrating damage, maybe not necessarily the citadels all the time against enemy battleships, but you're going to see later on that even at surprising angles, you can still get some really good salvos against enemy Congos or Fusos, which again, they aren't terribly armored, but the fact that you can do it is a huge factor. And yeah, you see me trying to adjust here against this Kirov. It's just not really working very well. I don't know what it is. I always seem to underestimate their speed, and then I get really shitty dispersion against them, and that's why I'm still showing this to you, because while of course I do get a lot of really good damage salvos and things like that, this is what happens a lot of times as well, and I'm wasting a lot of time trying to hit this guy, and I really should have just switched targets and done something else, but I was trying to make something happen, and yeah, somebody else does it instead, so oh well, that's just how it goes, right? But then again, there are obviously moments where, while I may do that against the Kirov, I have a situation like this happen against the New York. Yeah. Holy shit. And the thing is, I lost the turret, so that makes what's going to happen here in a moment all the more impressive. so we'll get to it in just a second. But if you pay attention to our positioning here, it's basically now north versus south, and we have our division here with our battleships, a couple New Mexicos, a Fuso, and my salvo misses the New Mexico, his salvo misses me. Do a little bit of decent dodging there. That Mermansk, again, he's just kind of sitting still. He thinks he's safe, but get a shot off while I can, and I'm terribly exposed here, so I'm really worried about this situation, but managed to knock out the Mermansk over the islands there. I'm sure he was not expecting that, but bounced my shells off to New Mexico, and now we have a situation against a pair of New Mexicos going up a pair of New Mexicos in the Fuso, and this is a big reason why when Battleship play is awesome, it's so invigorating. It's one of the main aspects of the game that keeps me playing, and I'll admit that I've really gotten away from playing Battleships because I just don't feel like I control my own destiny enough in them, and it's too reliant on RNG, so that's where I'm playing Destroyers a lot, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Like, today, I finally got a chance to stream for a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a second. The Ognavoy is awesome, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but holy shit do I love that ship. Had, like 13 matches in the last day with it, and out of those, like, hell, today I had 2 Krakens and 3 matches with 4 kills. So I'm like, alright, I'll keep this rolling. It's just a lot of fun, and oh my god, that AP penetrates so damn well. Now, remember what I said, I lost the turret, and we're going up toe-to-toe against the New Mexico here. Check this out. No citadels. Look at that again. 28,731 damage without citadels. Holy shit. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the Montana. That's what it should be able to do against Yamato or something. Like, it's not necessarily about getting the citadels, it's just about being able to have the damage potential regardless of citadels to be able to dissuade a enemy Yamato from getting closer. And I mean, the thing is that it applies to the other ships as well, like an enemy Iowa or an enemy Montana, for instance. And this whole thing is cinematic as hell with all the splashes and stuff coming from the secondaries. I mean, it was really cool to play this, and it felt really good having this guy trapped between all of us and just ripping him apart. So and then of course we go up to a Cleveland who has been backing up in A for like 3 minutes now. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but I'm gonna bloody up his nose a bit. So, and again, that's what I really was hoping to see when it came to the Montana, was that it had that ability, and I knew the game would be a bit different when I bought it back compared to my experiences in closed beta. Perhaps it was wrong of me to expect such and such from it, but you know, the thing is, they've got changes coming up in the next patch. I'm curious to see what they actually mean by that, like in terms of dispersion or penetration, whatever the hell. But the point is that, you know, they have changes coming up, and I may have sold the ship, but I'm still happy to hear that. You know, eventually I'll get back to it and I'll check it out again, and I will give it another chance. You know, the thing is, I still have the Iowa, so I can at least, you know, because that's one of the ships that they also plan on buffing too. I'll be able to kind of get a test run of what the Montana will be like with the Iowa. At least that's what I'm expecting. Again, I still don't know what their changes encompass, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see about that. Now, in regards to the stream, as I was going to say, for the last roughly 2 weeks, my internet provider has apparently been, quote, improving things, which is bullshit. It's a bad connection as it is, and it's the only option I can possibly get in the place where I live. So, I've had a horribly inconsistent streak of doing any type of streaming. I just, you know, I've had to cancel streams mid-match. I've had to leave the game because I can't play at all, like, let alone stream. And by the way, check this dude's name out. This has got to be one of the most glorious names I've ever seen in this game. Baby Whale Destroyer. I was cracking up for like 5 minutes straight on that, but so like today, I just kept trying it out. I kept looking at using various programs to test my ping and see how the condition of the status of the overall connection was, and I finally got a chance to stream for about 3.5 hours today with very little issues. I was very happy about that because those were the Ognavoid matches, so I was excited to actually get the chance to play and have some progress because I'm only a few matches away from getting the Kiev, and holy shit, I can't wait for that ship. And by the way, if you're paying attention to what I'm saying in the chat here, I'm trying to help this Omaha out. I know there's a Cleveland coming around this side, so I'm trying to see if I can help him out. Be the big brother, the guardian angel for the little Omaha against the Cleveland. Yeah, I did it. So, goodbye, Cleveland. But yeah, I kind of get a little stupid here, and instead of maneuvering after I fired, I go ahead and leave my side exposed to a Colorado, and I paid for that, so I decided to focus on chat as opposed to focus on managing my ship and still play the game. So kind of stupid of me, but simple mistake. Moving ahead though, there's clearly an enemy Farragut here. I'm very aware of his position, and I get the feeling that he's going to launch in a particular way, so I am trying to manage this because there's a lot of things happening here, a lot of ships off to my left. So I split my turrets though. I get a couple hits, well, 4 overpens on the Farragut, and I'm anticipating that they launch those torps the second he was around the edge of that island, and sure enough, that's exactly the case. So I anticipated it well, and I was hoping to get like a devastating strike on that guy, but that would have been so cool to see, but it was not to be. Now the Fuso that's inside sea here just wrecked the shit out of my front and took out my B turret. That's a very common issue with the ship. Of course, when you're angling, you're going to lose turrets in battleships. It's just how it goes. When you stay bow forward like that to maximize your armor, those shells are most likely going to hit your turret, and eventually there's going to be a penetration on it that disables the turret or knocks it out entirely. So I'm trying to get this Farragut while I can because I can't move into sea until this guy's down, and I almost get him. And now I'm trying to position myself to where my secondaries can still fire, but I'm at an angle against the Fuso, and I just needed that to happen. You're gonna see me start turning inward there. But then another match. Look at this shit. Going to pick a fight with a whole gang of ships. I said this at the start of the match. Don't ever say shit like this at the start of the match, guys. And I thought that was a beautiful salvo, sure enough. Nah, of course not. I don't hit the guy. And I've actually got to say, that is one of the best Citadel lanes for battleships in the game. Shooting from where I was on here in fault line into A like that, oh my god. The result, like, there are so many good devastating strikes that come from that because they don't expect it. They've got to turn out because they start meeting the enemy team, or my team obviously. And I'm trying to get this Cleveland, by the way, having some issues in this match, and again, there's an Omaha to the right there. See the shells come in, finish off the Cleveland. I was hoping to knock him out, but that was good enough because that Omaha needed the help for sure. He can't go toe to toe against the Cleveland, not if the Cleveland is competent. And I misled that Phoenix. I knew that was going to be the case the second I fired it, but I get a second chance because he decides to continue forward for some reason. And look at this. Yeah, 4 overpens. Just my damn luck, of course. So this is kind of why I highlighted that whole thing at the start of the match where I decided to be an idiot and predict my death, basically, in the chat by picking a fight with a lot of ships. Well, there's a couple Fusos, there's the Omaha, and there is a Congo somewhere in the back there, and he'll show his face eventually. So Fuso, pretty decent range. He's sort of broadside. Get a nice 15k damage salvo on him. In this situation, I actually couldn't have asked for a better setup. So they're on the opposite side of the middle here in fault line, and I've got this island to help me out, and damn does it help. So it also helps that I kind of saved this Omaha from a certain death against that Cleveland because of the fact that they also have something else to shoot at. If you're gonna pick a fight with a bunch of people, try to make sure that you're not the only one that is going to be shot at, because it can mean a huge amount in terms of the ability to weather the storm and also manage your position more effectively. This is why you should never go alone in any situation other than when you're a destroyer and you can use concealment to get in and out of situations that otherwise you wouldn't be able to. So Fusos are certainly paying attention to me, but they're also paying attention to our poor little Omaha here, who is taking some attention away from me, thankfully. But I'm going full speed, but I'm going to manage my throttle a little bit here so I don't get ahead of myself. And I've got this Omaha who's opened up and nice and broadside to me. Get the Citadel on him, and then he's gonna pull me and run right into the beach. Now, I thought I had him dead to rights here, but unfortunately dispersion kicks in, and yeah, not gonna happen. So now I'm in an interesting situation. You see me drop down to 3/4 speed. I'm closing closer to the island, and I am kind of trying to manage my speed here a little bit because, one, I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I actually end up doing that anyways. And now the Congo comes into view, so there's a lot of shit going on here. The Fuso opens up a bit and get some good damage there, 11,000 without a Citadel. Take a look at the other Fuso to see where he's at with his turrets. He's looking off to the guys behind me, so that allows me to open up and get my rear turrets in here and get another salvo off, because I figure it's most likely going to be one of my last ones that I can get my rear turrets involved. And I got a Citadel on him. It's actually a pretty impressive angle there, and I still managed that. So yay RNG. But now I'm going... this is a really bad spot to be in, let's be honest. That Fuso now basically he can only shoot me to my right. The Omaha is certainly launching torps, but I managed to get him, and I have another turret right there, get a couple penetrating hits there, got torpedoes coming in, I get hit from the southern Fuso, and now I have this is fucked up, I have 2 turrets that are disabled, and all 4 turrets are on independent cooldowns. This is a really bad situation to be in. So my C turret, finally, I get the Citadel there, knock that Fuso out. Now I've got to deal with another Fuso at full health and the Congo at full health. Well, shit, and I'm flooding. So my repair is coming up. I'm weathering the storm here. I'm very, very close to death, and I'm telling the guys in the chat, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm dead. I'm going to try to do what I can. So I get my B and D turret, and check this out. Damn it, man. If I just had all 4 turrets, I had such a good angle there to be able to knock him out. And then I follow up with the A and C turrets, and I just don't seal the deal. But now I'm trying to cut in really hard here to try to maximize my angle and, try to deflect some of these shots. But he doesn't really have a really good angle on me in some respects. He gets a little bit of damage there, but nothing terrible. And I managed to outlast the guy, and then the hero run comes in from the Menakazi on the Fuso to finish this match off. But yeah, I gotta say, man, I really like this ship quite a bit. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite battleship, just because of the way that it behaves at its tier. I felt very, very confident going up against enemy Fusos with this, against anything that it faces, even tier 7s, the Colorado, the Nagato. I think this does very well against them. Once you get into tier 8s, it's a bit of a different story. I do switch to HE a lot more frequently with it. I find that North Carolinas respond very, very well indeed to the HE from New Mexico, so yeah, that's just something to bear in mind if you find yourself in that situation. Try HE first, because chances are you're not going to last all that long to begin with against those guys. And I know a lot of you guys come here for Battleship play, and I appreciate that a great deal. I think it's awesome that you think of me as a Battleship player. I don't personally consider myself a player of a particular class. I just play what I feel like. So that's why destroyer gameplay is going to be featured a lot more again. The upcoming user replays are actually going to be focused on one entirely on Clemson's, which is amazing, but wait till you see it, trust me. And then another with the cruisers, so I can talk about some of those changes. But really, I just try to expand my skill set and my ability to play the game, and that's where I may go in and out of phases, but it's all for the better. But again, Kami stream Wednesday giveaway for 1,000 followers on Twitch. Feel free to swing by there. NA only, follower only, so just a heads up. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you back here soon. Take care.